Hey, English 112, Miss Brewer here for your final lecture video for this semester. Good job sticking it out, guys. I know it's been a crazy semester and lots of obstacles, and I am proud of you guys for sticking it out and continuing to turn in your work. So really good job on that. This week, you have just a couple of things that you're working on. So I provided a TED Talk. It's for, inspiration. You don't have to do anything with it. You don't have to respond. I enjoy it. It's just kind of prompting you to move from researching your social justice or topic to acting on it by learning about organizations that do act on the issue that you researched. So this week, you're going to review the business writing basics lesson, and do be sure that you pay attention and take some notes from that, because there are questions on the final about that. So you will need to know about what is ABC format. You'll need to know the purpose of an email or a memo, things like that. So make sure you go through those lessons. You're using the business writing style in your PowerPoint presentation this week. So you will complete a PowerPoint presentation on the social justice organization that you have chosen. You've already submitted that choice, and now what you're going to do is you're going to look through their website and you're going to find out some information about them, and you're going to put together a presentation that you turn into me, and that presentation is a culmination of all of your work this semester. So you wrote a literary analysis about Othello. Then you chose a social issue that tied into that literary analysis, and now what I want you to do is I want you to find a social organization and tell me about that organization and how they tie back to your issue and how your issue ties back to Othello. So your PowerPoint presentation, there are some expectations in the page here. You will create a PowerPoint. Please don't use another platform. It needs to be a PowerPoint. Microsoft is what's required for this course per the syllabus, so we're going to stay with that. You will present on your topic, and what that means is go back to your literature review and pull out some information to teach us some basic information about your topic. And then you're going to tie your topic back to Othello. And finally, you're going to then teach us about your social justice organization and what they do for your issue, okay? So in your PowerPoint expectations, I talk about about you following the rule of 7. This is a generalized rule, okay? But the purpose of this rule is so that you do not copy and paste paragraphs or things like that from the website or from your literature review. The PowerPoint is a guide for a presentation. So in business, you wouldn't write a literature review or a research paper. You would do a presentation to tell the business about what it is you're presenting on, okay? You would actually do a speech along with it. Now, for the situation in our course, we're not gonna do that. You're just gonna turn in the presentation. So the presentation is a guide for your audience. So the rule of 7 means that you'd use no more than 7 lines of text with 7 words long. So you're not working on complete sentences, you're not writing paragraphs or anything like that for this PowerPoint presentation. It's a guideline with information, little blurbs of information, okay, about your topic. So for the first slide, you need a title slide. Think about APA format. Then you, from slides 2 through 10, okay, or 8, depending on how many slides of information you have, you're teaching us some background on your topic. And literally, don't do additional research. It comes from your literature review. So whatever your main topics were in your literature review or your subheadings, pull from that. The subheading can be the title, right? And then you put a little bit of information from that section on a slide to teach us the background. All right, then what I want you to do is do a couple of slides connecting back to Othello. Here, if you decide to use a quote, make sure that you can use a quote. It would break the rule of 7, but it should be the only thing on the slide, in quotation marks with a citation in text, and then the next slide would then explain the connection of that quote. And then at the end, you're going to teach about the organization that you chose. So you may start with some background on them. Don't do more than 1 slide of background information. You may talk about what their mission is. You talk about how it is that they help with your social issue, okay? And again, you're pulling that information from their website, but do try to summarize it and make sure that you're not just copying and pasting. That's super important. You do need references. Your references should be in APA format, and your references should be all of the things from your literature review, because that's how you learned the background. And then they should be the website, and they should be Othello in APA format. So make sure you put those things in APA format, okay? We're being able to transition from MLA to APA, okay? So that's your project that's due this week. And that's your final PowerPoint presentation. I try to give more freedom on this assignment, so don't freak out and be like, oh God, I don't know exactly what to do on every slide. You are teaching us, and you are making connections about your topic and your literary analysis and your social justice organization choice. So you have a little bit more freedom here, okay? Just make sure that you're short to the point, you're avoiding long sentences and paragraphs, and make sure that you're citing, okay? So that's what you're working on for this week, okay? And then when you get into final exam, because that's also going to be due this week, so your final exam will be due by Sunday night. It is mostly multiple choice. There is one short answer question, and it may tell you it's wrong, but I will review it if you think you got it right, because short answers, if it's not written exactly the way I put the answer in, it might mark it wrong. Don't freak out. If you think you got it right, I will be reviewing them on May 4th or May 5th, okay? So you'll complete your final exam, and then you'll complete that final journal response, all right? And that's it for the course. You guys will be all done. Your grades will be finalized in Moodle on May 5th by the end of the day. Please check Moodle, because on May 6th, I will finalize them in WebAdvisor, okay? And when I finalize them in WebAdvisor, at that point in time, they're final, so make sure you do check. I will have my virtual office hours if you want to check in and get more clarification on the PowerPoint presentation or anything like that, or just check in to say hey. And that last virtual office hour will be Friday, so just be prepared for that. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always email me. So for this week, you can consider your final journal response your attendance, you're doing your final exam, and you're completing your PowerPoint to wrap up the course. So hopefully if you guys have questions, you'll reach out, and I wish you all the best, and hope that you feel like you got a little something out of this course. Have a great week.